Imagine, if you will, the horizon at dawn, a seam where night and day embrace, neither fully dark nor wholly light. This is how a man often sees the world, not as a fixed truth, but as a landscape of contradictions, a canvas where strength and fragility blend like watercolors in the rain. To speak of how men perceive existence is to trace the silhouette of a storm, its power visible, its depths unseen, the weight of silence. For centuries, men have been handed maps to navigate life. Be a pillar. Provide, protect, never falter. These maps were drawn in the ink of expectation, yet they omit the canyons within, the quiet ache of unshed tears, the questions folded like origami in the pockets of the soul. A father teaches his son to shake hands firmly, to stand tall in adversity, but rarely does he say, "I too have trembled." The world hears the roar of men's voices, but seldom the whispers beneath. Am I enough? The masks we wear. To see as a man sees is to gaze through a prism of paradox. Society applauds the armor, the stoic resolve, the laughter that deflects vulnerability. Yet beneath the surface, there are rivers that run deep with longing, to be both anchor and sail, to hold fast yet yearn to drift. Men learn to speak in the language of action, fixing, solving, enduring, while their inner dialogues murmur in poetry. A handshake conveys trust. A glance across a crowded room holds galaxies of understanding. But how does one translate the unspoken, the shadow of legacy? History paints men as conquerors, builders of empires, wielders of certainty. But modern man inherits a quieter battle to reconcile the echoes of rhetoric. Be strong. With the truth that strength is not a fortress, but a bridge. He walks the tightrope between ancestral footprints and the uncharted terrain of his heart. He is told to man up, yet the phrase feels like a cage, its bars forged from generations of suppressed fears. What if true courage lies not in denying pain, but in naming it? The hunger for connection. Beneath the surface of every man's gaze lies a hunger as ancient as fire, the need to be known, not as a hero or a myth, but as a human, flawed, yearning, alive. He finds fragments of himself in the grip of a friend's handshake, in the laughter shared over a fading campfire, in the silent solidarity of side-by-side struggle. Yet vulnerability often feels like a foreign tongue, a risk that might unravel the tapestry of respect he's spent years weaving, redefining the horizon. But here, in the quiet revolution of our age, something shifts. A new dawn rises, one where men dare to unclench their fists and let the world see their palms, calloused yet open. To see as a man sees is no longer to dominate the horizon, but to merge with it. To admit that rivers need not always rage, they can also reflect. Strength is reimagined. A father's tears as he holds his newborn, a friend's admission of doubt under a starlit sky, the courage to say, "I don't know," and still stand grounded. The constellation of brotherhood. In the end, a man's vision is not a solitary lens, but a mosaic of every hand that lifted him, every voice that said, "You are not alone." His world is not a solitary peak, but a range of mountains, each man a summit, yet connected at the roots. When he allows himself to be both rock and river, fortress and field, he discovers that depth is not a flaw, but a testament to humanity. So let us reimagine the horizon. Let us see as men see, not with the rigidity of a compass, but with the wisdom of tides, embracing both tempest and calm. For the truest strength is not in the armor worn, but in the heart laid bare, not in the silence kept, but in the story whispered at last to the waiting sky. When a man finally meets his own gaze in the mirror, may he see not a shadow of expectation, but a constellation,